Welcome to Inboard Online. This how-to video will cover inspecting and replacing the impeller located inside your raw water pump. For ease of shooting this video and for demonstration purposes, we've placed an engine on a stand, and this particular engine has a crank-driven raw water pump. Depending on your engine configuration and location in your boat, you're probably going to encounter some pretty odd positions trying to do this. Your new replacement kit will come complete with brand new impeller, new gasket, and a couple of replacement screws, just in case you drop a couple or drop one down in the build. Here's a cutaway view of a crank-driven raw water pump. Inside you can see the rubber impeller, and when we turn it like this, it gives you an idea of the function of the pump. Okay, so let's get started. Locate the raw water pump, find the cover, and remove it. Try not to drop one of those screws. If you do, remember they are brass, and you're not going to be able to pick them up with a magnet. After the cover is removed, inspect the impeller and replace it if necessary. Before removing the impeller, get a good lubricant, spray it inside around the blade area, let it sit for a little bit before you remove the impeller. It makes it much easier. The best tool for removing the impeller is an impeller puller. If you have one, use it. In our case, the impeller was so destroyed that we used a set of pliers. Once the impeller is partially out, you should be able to wiggle and move it out with your hand. Inspect the housing and the cover plate and remove all gasket material, as some of it may have stuck on either one. In our case, the gasket material came off rather easy. You may need to use a putty knife to remove some of it, and also use a mild abrasive rubber sponge like a Scotch-Brite or SOS style. It'll help clean off the material. Now it's time to install the new impeller. Go ahead and put it in, slightly turn it to help it get started. Spray it with lubricant, let it sit for a couple of minutes, and then go ahead and start pushing it in. The pump shaft and the impeller are both splined. For proper fit, make sure they're aligned and they'll go in smoothly. Make sure that it's seated properly. Once seated properly, it should be a smooth, continual fit across the top. Locate your new gasket and the cover. The gasket and cover will only mate up one way. Match it up and go ahead and install it back on the pump. Tighten the screws and you're good to go. Once you've completed the installation, go ahead and crank your engine, check the seal, make sure there are no leaks, check for good water flow, watch your temperature on the thermostat, make sure everything's good to go, and have a fantastic day out on the water.